That's BRUCHER machining.com. They also provide heat treating, balancing, plating, and surface coating, welding and fabrication, plus project management. Bruscher Machining guarantees to consistently deliver high-quality parts and solutions on time for reasonable prices. Yeah, everyone says that, but the proof is in the tooling. Stop by to meet their team of seasoned pros and tour the facility located in West Chicago. To learn more about how CNC machining can turn your tough project into an operational reality, contact Bruscher Machining today for your free custom quote, 630-876-1661.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
This hour of The Shaun Thompson Show is sponsored exclusively by DonleyAuctions.com. Selling a collection or just the high-end antiques? Get top dollar. DonleyAuctions.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
So, Squirrel, you handsome son of a gun. When you read me the comments, are they on Rumble, YouTube, or asshat known as Facebook? Facebook? Facebook, a lot of interactions. And what's the Facebook channel, Squirrel? Shaun Thompson Show, isn't it? Shaun is spelled the right way. A lot of interactions. Is that where the guy who told me he was a conservative but said he didn't like Trump is? Yeah, sure you are. Oh, that was YouTube. Google sucks. They censored me for pointing out beyond the shadow of a doubt the 2020 election was stolen.
Of in-person voting with all the protections and absentee voting that has been repeatedly, including in the Carter Commission report, thought to be a source of significant potential for fraud. In Wisconsin, we just completed a recount. We had more than 2,500 volunteers, or probably more than 1,000 volunteers for the Biden campaign as well. Uniquely, we are able to examine actual envelopes that contain the ballots that are submitted by absentee voters. This allowed us to identify by person, by address, by ward. It's not conspiracy. The real names are in the record. And here's what we found. We found that there were incomplete and altered certificates. These are the certificates on the front of the envelopes that have to be exactly done correctly under our law. If not, those results may not be counted. How many of those? More than 3,000 of those identified by person were nonetheless counted, even though they are clearly invalid under the law.
That was 3 days before January 6th, and then people stopped talking about it. The millions of illegitimate votes that were counted. Nate, Indiana.
Hey, what's up, Shaun? Yeah, so this is a quick story. So I don't know if people know this in Illinois or not, but Pritzker obviously signed the Safety Act, and I'm not going to say where I work or anything like that, but a guy that was, I think he was 15, blew another adult, unalived him. And
you got to be careful. Now, listen, Nate, you're in Indiana, but that could mean a different thing here in Cook County. So when you say blew, you mean killed him?
Yeah, killed him in a violent way. The guy was there meeting up with him for something I think probably was devious, but either way, he killed him. And the thing is because of his age, per the Safety Act, he has to, by law, be released at age 21, regardless of anything. And he can be released earlier if he completes the classes and things like that. To me, that's crazy. So correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Someone could go into a school and just wreak havoc, and unless they're federally charged, as long as they're at that golden age, they have to be released per the Safety Act by age 21.
Yes.
I just think that is insane.
So what Nate is referring to is that a 15-year-old killed somebody, shot him and killed him dead. And per Safety Act law, he is released at the age of 21. You know what's interesting, Nate? Before I left Florida to come back, I had a couple things to do this week. Before I left Florida, there was a similar case in Florida. And the kid was 16, and he killed somebody who was 18. Florida not only is trying him as an adult, they're trying him as an adult for capital murder. So
they should,
for a capital crime.
Choice to kill someone.
Exactly, right? So, I mean, Nate, for guys who are in law enforcement, and I have family, I have a nephew, copper on the job in Chirac, it's unbelievable what they have to go through doing their job, arresting the guy, and you see these scallywags back out on the street in no time. Nate, that's why good people are only the ones that are upset by bad things. So I appreciate you giving the call, and you stay safe, all right?
Yeah, man, thank you.
You stay safe. Thank you, brother. I tell my nephew the same thing. Stay safe. Mike, Yorkville.
Shaun, good evening. I was just thinking about that Maxine Waters part where you talked about that wig. I can't imagine what she looks like. She taking that wig off looks like one of those ugly dog contests.
Yes.
And I had a horrific feeling. Anyways, I had just this problem I've just come to grips with lately about men that are in power, especially in the Republicans. We've known that there's certain ones like Lindsey Graham and all those that they have these ability and power. They have things that they have within their grasp to do, but yet they don't utilize the tools. And this is where people are having difficulty in wanting to go ahead. And this is where we look at midterms, we look at all the other things, and we see these people that are continuously still getting elected in, despite many people that you talk to, I call it garage talk, that they're your neighbors, other people that come in, and they say, I don't understand how this person has ever gotten in office or stayed. So somewhere the votes have been rigged. We know that, course. Even on the Republican side, too.
Listen, let's go to the greatest.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
Amen.
Mike, here's the thing, and this cuts both ways, right? The idea that we, as non-scumbags, pretend Mitch McConnell has been voting, has been aware, can vote. Do you know how ridiculously nauseating that is to me? Mitch McConnell he has no fracking idea. He might have already be dead. He might have died 9 months ago. Who the frack is going to know? Freeze frame. When was it? Twice. He froze 9.5 months ago. You haven't seen him since. It reminds me when they took Dianne Feinstein, they shot her up with formaldehyde and that Starbucks concoction that kept Biden alive, and she was in the wheelchair like Popeye with the one eye. She's here for the vote. She didn't know what frickin' day it is. It's amazing how we have devolved into a third world by allowing these scumbag politicians who have accomplished nothing to take these massive positions of power. Maxine Waters is my favorite because she's the finance committee, even though she's tied to 3 major scandals in bailouts. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Maxine Waters 1 to give you kind of set the table.
Thank you very much. Secretary Besson, in the FSOC annual report, you stressed the importance of economic growth to promote financial stability. While you noted many ways you plan to deregulate Wall Street and plant the seeds for another crisis, you said little about the harms of inflation. I find this odd as the president and you have finally began discussing in the media how the price of goods are way too high.
Now, do you understand that Joe Biden singly, there has never been another president with such spectacular economic failure, not only adding $9 trillion to the national debt, which means for 4 years he blew every penny that came in from revenue and added $9 trillion. It took this country 236 years to accumulate $9 trillion. That fracking moron, he did it in 4 years.
How would you say your mental focus is?
Oh, it's focused. I haven't, look, I have trouble even saying to myself my own head the number of years. I no more think of myself as being as old as I am than fly.
What? This is an idiot that people in this country insisted won legitimately and beat Barack Obama by 11 million votes. Never happened. 12 million. Never, ever, ever happened. And while he was president, pretend president, he destroyed the buying power of your dollar to the tune of 30%. That was the inflation. And now this moron is going to lecture Scott Besson on inflation? It's a staggering fact of what we've allowed these political whores to do to this country. And that's why from this point forward, no more political whores on either side. 312-642-5600.
Call Shaun now. 312-642-5600.
Hi, I'm Ken Mariotti, owner of Woodland Windows and Doors, a third-generation family-owned business since 1969. We know you're bombarded by choices when shopping for new windows or doors, so we're inviting you to experience the Woodland difference. For decades, we have been transforming living spaces with Marvin Windows, a fifth-generation family business.